Let's get the official prediction starting with you, Zoe.
You know what? If London Spitfire... manages to shut down Fleta, I think this is going to be their game to win. So I'm going to go with London.
You're going with London. They do shut down Fleta, she says. Johnny?
You know, I'm still pretty undecided. I actually haven't decided yet what I'm going for. So I'm actually going with London Spitfire as well. I believe they can do it, yeah.
On the spot. We got London. Where are you going today?
I'm going with Seoul. Seoul's still one of the top teams to me. They got taken up 5 games, but they're clearly understanding what they need to fix. I think that they are going to be able to dispatch with London's strategy of dive fighting.
What? Still, progress. Birdring looking for an angle, gonna go high, way out in the open, and somehow finds a shot on Fleta. So sick. We can hardly spot him there. Looks like he did get back in. The Hawk attempt from you, y'all. You think it's gonna happen? Not quite. Fleta has joined the party though with the barrage, shutting down Rascal, and it looks like Seoul will be able to stop. He is having a bit of a struggle here versus Fleta, but you know, you get the Dragon Blade in there, see if you can chop some people into bits, and then change it up if it doesn't work. You still have time in the bank right now, moving into the second point more than
in on this. Even at lower numbers, Hurak gets another support, gets both supports.
Okay then, turns out it pays off in the end. Happen in the end. It will be the clean sweep for London Spitfire, a 4-0 victory over the Seoul Dynasty, a team that is sat at the top of the league.
Gesture causing so many problems. We gave it to the tank. Despite the DPS getting the flashy picks, it was the monkey getting the job done. Why is Gesture in your top 3 greatest main tanks in the game right now?
Well, he's so consistent in so many styles. We see a lot of teams having 2 main tanks to play a bit more passive or play a bit more aggressive. I think the Gesture is so very consistent in both of these styles, and he can... I think he was in the match throughout the entire match, and we see them swap out maybe 4 players between maps. They have different setups confirmed, but Gesture was in there all the time because he's so good at adapting, playing all of these different styles, and there's only a handful of tanks that can actually do that in the league.
We actually get to highlight just how much was Gesture in there. Well, he was doing 6,000 more damage than his counterpart on Miro, and he had 2 minutes less played, so less time, more effectiveness. That's why he stays in the...
The biggest reason why the London Spitfires completely dominated the Seoul Dynasty was because they were swapping their players around, thus mixing up the gameplay and keeping the Dynasty guessing the London's next move, while the Dynasty didn't swap a single player.
Who competed in Korea. A lot of these names you haven't really seen on stage thus far, except for in the preseason, so this is a new London Spitfire on stage, and perhaps they're looking to change up a bad form.
It's a London Spitfire team that even in that pre-game video, they have actually expressed their nerves coming into this game. This team is still trying to find its footing here in the States, working their way through being regarded as one of the top teams in the squad, and now they're facing off against the Seoul Dynasty, which I think that they actually have a very positive way of coming out into this when you look at the DPS.
Who are y'all in the starting lineup today? Excited to see this man play. Johnny, let's talk a little bit about this lineup. Not a lot of people watched the matches over in Apex. They didn't see how the GC Busan became the Apex Season 4 champs. Real quick, players to watch from this squad in our opening game.
I would actually say, take a look at Wu, y'all. He's one of my favorites coming out of that GC Busan team. Now, it helps.
It helps. Let's get into the actual match, Hex. I mean, because now we're going to get into that second map that's coming up. It's going to be the Assault one. It's going to be Temple of Anubis. And already, you know, one thing to mention before we get into it is that we will have a sub going into this match as well. Prophet will be subbing in for Rascal for Spitfire. So already I'll start you off. Do you agree with this this sub? Do you think isn't blissful is what's happening to Seoul right now? They are definitely up in arms, and well, what is this has prompted is pretty much wholesale subs on both teams actually. This is interesting as well. As far as London are concerned, they've gone ahead and made quite a few changes as well to the active roster here in the remainder of this match.
They're swapping out 4 players overall. So Budoshin's going to come in, Nuz going to come in, a tank named Fury is going to come in as well. They're going to bring Hurag in. So 4 out of the 6 are new players for the second half here. Stakes couldn't be higher. They win Ilios, they win the set.
Might as well be a new game.
New
match on our hands, boys. Yeah, this is it. We've got 2 new teams pretty much going at it. Start over again. Well, we could go through it all over again, but basically 4 players have been subbed for Spitfire again going into this last map of this series.
You just saw their control squad come in for that. Now they're all coming back out, and they closed out the victory for them. So now gonna get some more time and really playing with house money right now. Of course, map wins do matter, so we're gonna go to number 4 here. And I think it's a morale map for Seoul Dynasty. Losing a set, you can get over. Losing a set like this, that is a tough pill to swallow.
London Spitfire